Have you ever felt that familiar pang of regret right after agreeing to something you absolutely positively did not have the time or frankly the energy for?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe you nodded yes when, every fiber of your being was just screaming no.
Mm-hmm.
You know that feeling, right? That
Yeah.
like instant dread. Your mental calendar is already overflowing, and yet, boom, another commitment added to the pile.
It's such a common thing.
What if I told you that every single time this happens, it's not just some minor inconvenience, it's actually a direct no to your own well-being?
It really is a universal experience. And today on the deep dive, we're cutting through the noise, looking at the art of saying no without guilt.
Good title.
Yeah. Our mission here, and we're drawing deep insights from material titled just that, is really to expose why this seemingly simple act feels so profoundly difficult. We want to arm you with actionable insights, things like the surprising 5-second rule for those uncomfortable conversations, and practical tools to actually reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace of mind through setting effective boundaries.
That's exactly what we need to unpack, because we're here to help you transform those knee-jerk, guilt-driven yeses into intentional, empowering no's. No's that actually strengthen you and your relationships instead of, diminishing them. It's really about taking back control, isn't it?
Indeed. We want to equip you with the understanding and the tools to navigate these tricky situations so you can honor your own capacity while still valuing your connections.
Okay, let's unpack this. Confession time for me.
Uh-oh.
Not long ago, I found myself agreeing to bake 60 cupcakes? 60 for my niece's school event.
60. Wow.
Yeah, and this was during a week I had a major, absolutely crucial work deadline just looming over me.
Oh, no.
But I just didn't want to disappoint anyone. So I said yes. Result: an all-nighter, immense stress, and absolutely zero peace of mind. I vividly remember feeling like a zombie, literally frosting these tiny cakes at 3 a.m.
Oh, that sounds utterly draining. I've had similar experiences, definitely. I once said yes to helping a friend move apartments.
Okay.
Right after a totally sleepless night and a full day of just back-to-back meetings, my body was physically there, lifting boxes.
Right.
But my mind, it was operating on fumes. I was just this hollow shell of helpfulness, and frankly, probably wasn't much help at all.
And it just begs the fundamental question, doesn't it? Why do we do this?
Yeah.
Why do we repeatedly agree to things when we are clearly tired, already busy, or just completely overwhelmed? What is it about that tiny 2-letter word no that makes it feel like such an immense hurdle to get over?
Well, a key insight here, I think, is that the root cause is often guilt, just plain guilt. We feel genuinely guilty about saying no, and there's this powerful societal conditioning at play. It trains us to believe that, good people always say yes.
Right, the good person trap.
Exactly. So it makes us feel selfish or unfriendly, maybe unreliable if we decline a request. It's this ingrained belief system that has us constantly prioritizing others' perceived needs over our own, often because we tie our self-worth to how helpful we are.
That idea of societal programming,
Yeah.
it really resonates. It's like a default setting we're just programmed with from, day one.
Pretty much.
But how do we start to dismantle that default setting? Especially when that immediate feeling of guilt is just so strong? And what's the real cost of letting that default just run our lives?
That's an excellent question because awareness really is the first step. Recognizing the roots of that guilt, like we just discussed, is crucial.
Okay.
What the research consistently shows is that this isn't some victimless crime against ourselves. Every single yes that is born from guilt, it extracts a very real, very tangible toll.
How so?
It costs us our precious time, our finite energy, and perhaps and most crucially, our peace of mind. It's an immediate cost paid right up front every single time. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, saying yes to someone else, especially out of that guilt, it very often means you are simultaneously saying no to yourself.
Oh, okay.
You're saying no to rest, no to your own health, and critically, no to your own priorities. It's a form of self-neglect, really, even if it feels like kindness in the moment.
So if you're listening, I want you to maybe reflect on this for a second. Have you ever agreed to those seemingly small favors? Maybe it was answering a colleague's emails over the weekend, or helping a friend with a project that wasn't really yours, or running an errand for someone, even when you truly didn't have the bandwidth.
We all do it.
We all do it.
Yeah.
And then only later do we realize the true cost.
It's really compelling when you see that these aren't just isolated incidents. It's this hidden trade that happens constantly.
Hidden trade. I like that.
Yeah. Take that anecdote about helping a friend move. By saying yes to that friend, you are implicitly saying no to getting enough sleep. Saying no to whatever Saturday plans you might have had, and definitely saying no to your own peace of mind.
Okay.
This is the very essence of being overcommitted. And ultimately, it's a form of self-abandonment. You abandon your own needs and desires to fulfill someone else's.
Self-abandonment. That's a pretty stark term. Is there a point where these accumulated sacrifices become, or irreversible? Or can we always recover? It feels like it's not just about those one-off big favors like moving, but the cumulative effect, right?
It's rarely a point of no return, thankfully, but the recovery journey definitely becomes significantly steeper the longer we let this pattern continue.
Makes sense.
And you're absolutely right. It is the cumulative effect. What starts as just a minor inconvenience, well, it quickly escalates. It can lead to chronic stress, burnout, that feeling of complete emotional and physical depletion.
Yeah, I know it well.
Deep resentment, maybe, towards those we constantly prioritize over ourselves, and just profound emotional exhaustion. This lifestyle, this pattern of constantly putting others' needs first, it quickly becomes unsustainable.
Unsustainable.
It simply cannot continue long-term without serious repercussions on your mental and often your physical health.
And that's where this really powerful analogy from our source material drives the point home. It says, you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep others warm.
Oof, yeah.
When I first read that, it stopped me in my tracks. There's such a profound truth in that statement, isn't there?
Absolutely.
It perfectly captures the experience of those of us who constantly burn ourselves out, leaving nothing but ashes for ourselves, all in this effort to keep everyone else comfortable. Reminds me of those 𝗦𝘁cie cupcakes.
It's a stark reminder, but a necessary one. After all, your well-being isn't some bottomless pit of energy you can just keep dipping into.
Right.
We can't keep setting ourselves on fire indefinitely and expect to still have embers left to warm our own lives. Your well-being is not a renewable resource if you're constantly depleting it for others.
So what does this all mean for us? I mean, how do we break free from this cycle of guilt-driven yeses and hidden sacrifices, especially when we're already feeling the effects of burnout?
Yeah. The big question.
The answer, friends, the essential answer to this pervasive problem seems to be boundaries.
Which raises an important point, though, because boundaries are often seriously misunderstood.
How so?
When people hear that word boundaries, they might immediately think of, like, building walls or pushing people away or maybe being cold and unapproachable.
Yeah, I guess that.
But that's really not what we're talking about at all. True boundaries are far from that.
Okay, so it's not about isolating yourself or creating distance.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not about building walls, what exactly are we constructing when we establish boundaries?
That's where our source material offers this really potent reframe. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters.
Filters. Okay, I like that.
Think of them that way. These filters help you, the individual, discern what truly belongs in your life and what doesn't. They're tools that let you manage your energy, your time, your commitments effectively without shutting out the good things. They let you curate your life based on your values and priorities, allowing the valuable stuff in and, well, deflecting the draining stuff.
So it's not a sign of indifference then, is it? Saying no isn't some selfish act where you just don't care about the other person. But does setting boundaries feel selfish at first?
Right.
Even when we know it's for our own good?
It absolutely can feel selfish initially because, like we said, we're so conditioned to prioritize others.
Right.
But saying no is actually a vital act of self-care. It means you care about yourself, too. You're acknowledging your own limits, your own needs, which is really a sign of strength, not weakness.
Okay.
And here's a crucial insight from our deep dive. Boundaries don't damage relationships. In fact, they actively protect them.
Protect.
By being honest and transparent about your limits, you minimize the space for resentment to fester. You know, that feeling that builds up when you constantly give too much.
Yeah, that simmering feeling.
Exactly. You prevent miscommunication and the eventual breakdown that can come from feeling constantly taken advantage of. Healthy boundaries actually foster healthier, more authentic connections. Connections built on mutual respect.
Okay, let's get practical then. If you're listening, you're probably thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but how do I actually do it?
The million-dollar question.
Yeah. How do I politely, yet firmly say no, especially in English, without feeling like a total jerk?
That's a very common hurdle, absolutely. And it's where the language we use becomes incredibly powerful.
Right.
Our source provides some excellent, really useful expressions for politely declining a request. What makes them so effective is how they achieve clarity without being rude or requiring you to over-explain or justify your decision.
Okay, give us some examples. Let's hear them. These sound incredibly versatile. Like, for example, if you're truly swamped and someone asks for a significant favor, a simple and direct, what was one? I'd love to help, but I'm fully booked this week.
Perfect.
That acknowledges their request but clearly states your unavailability. No lengthy explanation needed.
Exactly.
Or, if it's more about your capacity or focus, you could try, that doesn't align with my current priorities.
That's a good one.
This one feels great because it speaks to your internal compass, which is hard for someone else to argue with, right?
Precisely. It's about your internal state.
And for just a general pass on something that just doesn't fit, I appreciate the offer, but I have to pass this time. Polite, final.
Simple, clear.
And if you want to acknowledge their effort, but still decline, maybe something like, I admire what you're doing, but I can't commit right now, that works beautifully.
It does.
See how they work? They're polite, but unmistakably clear.
Precisely. And notice how these phrases are constructed. They prevent that overcommitment by being direct. Yet they soften the refusal with appreciative or maybe empathetic language. The key, however, the real key, is to deliver them with conviction.
Conviction.
Your tone, your body language. It should reflect that you mean what you say, that this isn't an invitation for further negotiation.
Right. Not leaving the door open.
Exactly. But a firm, respectful boundary, it communicates that you've given it thought, your decision is final, but you're not being dismissive.
And this leads to a really powerful, almost counterintuitive insight from our deep dive. The initial discomfort, that awkward feeling of actually saying no, it typically lasts only about 5 seconds.
5 seconds, it sounds so short.
Think about that, just 5 seconds of awkwardness for potentially hours or days of freedom afterwards.
Yeah.
That initial moment, that slight pause, maybe that little internal battle, it's over almost instantly. And after those 5 seconds, it's replaced by this profound, liberating sense of freedom. It's like a weight has just been lifted and you're suddenly breathing easier.
It's a short, maybe intense burst of discomfort, but the payoff is immense. That feeling of freedom isn't just fleeting either. It solidifies your self-respect. It reinforces that you have agency over your own life.
Agency, yeah.
It's a psychological shift, really, from feeling obligated to feeling empowered, and that's a cornerstone of well-being.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If we synthesize everything we've explored in this deep dive, saying no is not selfish. Okay.
Not at all.
It is a vital skill. It's a necessary boundary. It is a powerful tool to protect your energy, your health, and yes, your peace of mind. It's about honoring yourself and in turn, building more authentic connections.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, just remember this. Every single time you say no to something that drains you, you are implicitly and powerfully saying yes to something that truly matters.
The flip side.
Exactly. You are saying yes to your well-being, yes to your passions, yes to your personal growth. It's an empowering choice that helps reshape your life into one that is more aligned with who you truly are and what you truly value.
So here's a provocative thought for you to carry forward from today's deep dive. Consider what truly lights you up. This week, if you were to identify just one draining obligation, just one yes, that you could perhaps transform into an intentional no, what yes could you then offer yourself instead?
Interesting question.
What vital part of your life or your growth would that intentional yes nurture? Think about it and maybe embrace the power of your intentional no.